Alright, this video is to explain the hatch command, how to modify hatching, how to hatch when there's a gap in the boundary, and then lastly how to hatch with solid colors. We begin the hatch command with the icon in the draw area, which is located here where my mouse is, with the hatch command. Or you can just simply type the word hatch. Next, once I have activated the hatch command, as you can see across the top screen, you have the hatch creation section going on up here, where you can make your changes to the pattern. This time, we're going to take our cursor and put it in this particular box here, and you can notice that there's a preview. The hatch command will allow you to do a preview prior to you clicking to make sure that the boundary is complete, and again to give to you an idea of what's going on. Now if you remove your mouse from that area, the hatch will go away. So this time I'm going to go ahead and click this particular area with one click, and to accept this particular pattern, either you can go over here to where it say close hatch creation, or you can just simply press enter. So I'm going to click the close, and there's my pattern inside the boundary. Now next is to modify a hatch scenario. So I'm going to go back to my hatch command, and this time I'm going to choose the middle point here. But before I do that, I want to change the pattern to ANSI 32. And I'm going to go to my middle point, and I'm going to actually click it. Alright, so in this scenario here, this is if you were to put the wrong pattern in the wrong spot. So while it's still active, you can make changes and modify your hatch pattern. So one, I want to change the pattern completely by choosing ANSI 37. In addition, I want to change the scale, which is right here, to twice the size. So I'm going to type 2.0. Lastly, I want to change my angle from 0 degrees to 45. That will make it look like a normal square grid. And I'm going to also change the color. We'll do that. So here where the hatch color is, change it to red. Alright. At this time I'm going to press enter to accept my modification to the pattern. Alright. Next, hatching when there's gaps. I have here a triangle shape with a gap at the corner of it. And when you're using the hatch command and there's gaps, you're going to always receive some type of error message. So one, I want to change my properties back to by layer for the color. I'm going to change my angle back to 0 and my scale to 1.0. And when it comes to the hatch pattern, I want to make it ANSI 31. Alright, so this time I'm going to go ahead and check my gap tolerance. I'm going to change it to 0 at this point, and I want to go ahead and click this shape. Now what should happen is you should get this message that says that a closed boundary cannot be determined, and you may need to fix some things. And then lastly, the red circles are something that's temporary, and to get rid of them you just type the word redraw or regen and it'll go away. So I'm gonna go ahead and hit close. Now to fix this scenario, I'm going to go back to my options button and change the gap tolerance to 0.25. This number is subject to change depending on it depends on how big of the gap. Also, I'm going to change this to normal island detection right there. And finally, I'm going to go ahead and click in my area. I should get this message that says that the hatch boundary is not closed. What do you want to do? In this case, I want to continue hatching this area. And as you can see, the pattern has completed within inside that spot. And I'm going to go to the closed hatch pattern, hatch creation, and accept the hatch, or you can press enter. So that's how you will hatch something where there's a hole in the boundary. Now, our final hatch will be hatching with solid colors, and we're going to also play with the island detection a little bit here to kind of understand that. And so I'm going to go back to my hatch pattern, and at the very top here under properties, I'm going to change the pattern to solid. Alright, and I can also choose a color if I wanted to, but I'm going to just leave it white at this point. And the next thing I want to do is go ahead and click this area where it's a text island. Now notice how the pattern, it avoided the actual words here, and that's what the island detection does. It detects things that's within inside the boundary, and so that it can go around it. While the hatch is still active, I'm going to go ahead to the options button, and I'm going to change this to the ignore. And then as you can see, now my white pattern has covered up my text, so now you can't see anything. Switching it back to normal makes it avoided, and at this time we're going to go ahead and press enter to accept the hatch pattern color, and this completes our exercises for the hatch pattern.